We're kind of a lightning round here, Senator. So quick answers, if you would, please. If Joe Biden doesn't run, which Democrat would you like to see run?
I'm with Joe Biden.
But if he doesn't, was there one?
Joe Biden has done a great job. He beat Donald Trump by 7 million votes just 2 years ago.
So you're not naming anybody else?
So it's Joe Biden.
No, okay.
It's going to. If Joe Biden wants to run, I think we should all rally behind him, because the number one job that a nominee has is to defeat Donald Trump, and he's the one person who's proven he can do it.
Okay. Would you encourage Charlie Baker to run for president, even if he is a Republican?
I would encourage no one to do anything in politics. All of those decisions are made between an individual and their family, and no one else should presume to be able to know best for them.
Should there be a term or an age limit for political office?
We have that. It's called elections, and we have it every 2, 4, and 6 years. And the public gets to decide who stays in office. And I think that's a system that's worked pretty well for about 230 or 40 years.
And 80 is not too old to hold any office.
I think that Joe Biden is somebody who has demonstrated a capacity to have the biggest success legislatively since Franklin Delano Roosevelt in 1933 and 34, the CHIPS Act, the transportation laws, the gun safety laws, a historic climate bill, putting together NATO to confront Vladimir Putin very successfully after people saw it being dismantled by Donald Trump. So he's done an absolutely fabulous job, and the highest probability is he will be running against a 78-year-old Donald Trump. That's the highest probability, because the Republican Party is still the party of Donald Trump.
Well, we still don't know exactly who's going to run, who's going to be running against Biden if Biden decides to run. How about you? Will you run for another term, do you think?
No, oh, yes. This is the most energized I've ever been. This past 2 years have been absolutely incredible in terms of our successes.
You're not up for 4 more years, though.
Janet's asking the question. Why are you getting in Janet's way?
But you're not up for 4 more years.
Janet.
Well, I know she's only got a couple hours left in the show. I know.
Let her finish up.
Goodbye here.
Janet being Janet. Okay. So yeah, and obviously the Green New Deal was in the DNA of the climate bill that just passed, and I'm very proud of that. Since Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and I introduced it just 4 years ago, it's transformed the debate. We saw actually a lot of it in Egypt in the global agreement that was just reached. So I'm very proud of that, energized by young people across our country. It's not your age, it's the age of your ideas. And in many of these instances, I am still the youngest guy in the room, because I keep talking about the future and how we have to have an intergenerational, intersectional, interracial coalition that is put together.
Will Trump be indicted before the 2024 primaries?
I don't know. I do know that he has to be held accountable. I do know that the Attorney General has made the right decision in announcing that there will be a special prosecutor. I think it is incredibly important that there be transparency and the American public know everything that happened during the Trump years. I was there on January 6th. When those people were coming up the walls of the Capitol. Right. It was incited, aided and abetted by the President of the United States, who was in complete election denial, and it is absolutely imperative that he be held accountable.
We're going to make a dramatic turn here on OTR, but this is the last time that Senator Markey and Janet will be together.
Goodness,
so
the
you
longest
have
goodbye.
Oh, right here. Yeah, this is, and again, Janet is an historic figure, as you know, and I know.
Right.
Okay. And
we started in politics. I started covering politics the same year you were elected. So.
And you're still a young woman, as far as Ed and I are concerned. Huh? Ed doesn't want to see you go.
No, sir.
This decision you're making is absolutely contrary to
everything.
Everything that Ed believes in, and I think all the people here at WCVB and all the people who have been watching you for all of these years. So I have a certificate of special congressional recognition from the United States Senate to Janet Wu in honor of her retirement after 50 years in journalism, with nearly 40 years at WCVB, and paving the way for others in the field of broadcast journalism, and a recognition of outstanding and invaluable service to the community of Greater Boston. So
thank you, Senator.
Janet,
I really
appreciate
it. I really do. Thank you very much. Especially since we both started in this game exactly at the same time.
Exactly.
We'll be right back.